It's on!
It's on! Nice backpack there, Mike.
The cadaverous pallor betrays no foreboding. Hello and welcome to Disney Parks Talk Live. Well, we're gonna, as you know, sup.
What's up? Hey, Zeus.
What's up?
Or Jesus, one of those.
So we're here to talk about the one segment of the Walt Disney Company that didn't get completely reorganized yesterday. Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products.
Because that happened just before everything else.
So Doobie's off, so you're stuck with me. Apologies, he'll be back next week. So we've got Shelly from On the Go in MCO. On the Go in MCO. Our chief Southern California correspondent, as well as editorial director for Star Wars, Mike Celestino.
Hello.
And Dark Overlord of all space, time, and dimension, Jeremiah Good.
Yes. I feel like I'm from Arizona wearing this hat, you know, down under.
Thank you. It's kind of fun.
I wore my hat because my hair is not beautiful.
So, should we start this?
Can we go to Disneyland, Texas, since they're like the only one that's open? It seems like.
Oh yeah, I read on like a website that they're moving to Texas.
Yeah,
lift it all up and just move it to Texas. Anyway, since Downtown Disney's the only thing going on, what's going on at Downtown Disney, Mike?
I think I don't think we talked about the Backlot Studio Shop. Is that what it's called last week? Did we? I don't think we had one.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so now you can go into California Adventure, kind of, and go into Stage 17. And they've got this whole shop set up there, and it's mostly a lot of stuff that they had before, but now you can get this handy hat, Jungle Cruise hat, that was previously available at Walt Disney World in Florida, which I was very, very excited about because I've been waiting to get my hands on it. And they also have a lot of other fun stuff in there. It's a lot of Halloween right now, but I'm sure, like, as the seasons progress, as the parks continue to not be open, they'll put other things in there. And they've also got some attraction-specific stuff and a lot of pins and apparel and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like a second world of Disney, basically, to give guests a little bit more space to spread out.
Do you think I presume that once Halloween's over, they'll do holiday merchandise. You think that's going to lead up to when they have 70th merchandise in there?
Yeah.
And then until the parks reopen.
Did they have any Indigenous Species Day merchandise yesterday?
I did not see that.
No.
Jeremiah, you're muted. We need to go around the horn. We can just mute you for 10 seconds and lose 10 points. And then they did another one of those, reservation things.
Yeah, so every once in a while, actually it's been pretty often recently. This is the fourth one where you have to sign up on the Disneyland.com website, get a reservation time, and show up at the former ESPN Zone building in downtown Disney. And you show up at your reservation time, they check you in, and you go inside and you can buy some exclusive merch that would probably ordinarily have been sold within the parks if they were open, like this Madame Leota light up sipper, which has also been available at Walt Disney World, and it has the pop-up straw there. That's pretty cool.
Would you have bought it if it didn't have a straw?
I actually didn't know it had the straw when I bought it, so the answer is yes. And then we also picked up a fancy. This is not for me. My wife's new purse. My wife's new Dooney and Burke Haunted Mansion pattern.
What's on the inside of it, Mike?
Well, mostly my wife's belongings now, but it's got a purple inside.
Ooh.
That's actually my favorite shape Dooney.
Yeah, it's cool. They call it the satchel, I think, and it's got the long strap to go around your torso, and then
Mike, can you model it for us?
I don't know if it fits around the hat. That does. There we go. See? Yeah, it's a nice bag, and they had like
this ensemble featuring a sleeping shirt, a slipper hat, and Beauty and a Brick.
I think they had like five different bags you could get, 4 or 5, and then the sipper. But you could go to laughingplace.com and see all the different options that they have.
And Mike, I know that I don't think I actually saw this through us, but they now have the 65th Snow Globe sipper at World of Disney. Did you see that while you were down there?
Did not go into World of Disney yesterday. We had to get back and watch DuckTales, so we didn't go in there.
Yeah, what they were only selling at the pin event, the first one or second one, they now have readily available.
Yeah, it seems like they have had some stuff left over, because I know you saw some of the pins from the 65th at the pin traders after those events were over. So I guess whatever's left over are going to pop up in those other shops accessible to everyone.
I almost feel like these pop-up events are like, us as annual pass holders always like, wait, there's an event we need to go to? Okay, right. We'll spend money.
Yeah, you go there and you feel like you have to get something, that's for sure, because it seems exclusive and limited edition and stuff.
So speaking of shops that are popping up and that Jeremiah needs to go to, at Walt Disney World, they're opening up an NBA. No, not NBA.
What?
AP.
Yes, all the NBA merchandise that wasn't sold prior to the playoffs, which the Los Angeles Lakers won. Yay!
Los Angeles Lakers of Anaheim.
Oh, Southern California.
So where is this?
The AP pop-up shop that opens Monday through Friday, I think it was 11:30 to park close at Epcot, is opening in the Germany pavilion in the teddy bear shop, or that shopping complex in Germany. We will have more information on it tomorrow, but it was announced, about 5 hours ago? It's going to open tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll have pictures of everything that is available. It did say that there is going to be exclusive annual pass merchandise, which will be exciting to see, because we, unlike California, don't get a lot of the annual pass merchandise. We get a magnet every now and then, where California does buttons and everything else all the time.
Wait, is that magnets though?
We get the magnets, but we don't get the pins and the buttons and everything that come out at yes. We don't have the fun. If you mobile order from the Dole Whip stand, you get this exclusive button. Or if you get the churro here, you get this exclusive button. But it'll be exciting to see what that is. They also mentioned that some of the World Showcase merchandise, which over the past, I guess since the late last year, they'd been putting in new lines throughout the World Showcase pavilions, with one of the latest being Canada. I know UK had some last year.
In Norway, they introduced all those lines in Norway right before the parks closed.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what all they have tomorrow. But again, I think it's just like with the Downtown Disney shop. Hey, it's an annual pass pop-up shop. Come and see us, please. Buy everything. And we will.
It's what we do.
It's all we do.
It's all we do.
We if you saw the video yesterday, we talked about how Disney's being completely reorged. Kareem Daniel now basically controls all the money for everything except park experience and products. But in an interview with CNBC announcing the changes, Bob Chapek, Grand Poobah of the Walt Disney Company, announced that basically they're running at 25% capacity, and that capacity is basically going to stay the same until CDC reverses the 6-foot guidelines, which presumably means that there's a vaccine or other sort of therapeutic, and the virus is not an ongoing concern. So, do the parks feel 25%?
Yesterday, when this came out, I know when we were doing the live tweets of the different statements, a lot of people were kind of giving us a little bit of a blowback of 25%. That's not the truth. If you think about the capacity of a Disney park, we've never seen a full park. And yes, New Year's Eve and 4th of July, we may see Magic Kingdom shut for the day park guests, but not the hotel guests or the annual pass. I think I saw Disneyland once in my entire time going to the parks ever fully close, and that was 4th of July or New Year's Eve years ago, before they added more attractions. 25% of the park, if we say, okay, 100,000 is the capacity of Magic Kingdom, so that means 25,000 people are in the park without any shows, without any shops for them to all fill up, with social distancing. Yes, the lines for Haunted Mansion's going to go to the river and almost meet Big Thunder, but I don't think that Disney is lying to us and saying, oh no, we're only doing 25%, where they're like, okay, we're going to fill this to capacity and make sure everybody gets a chance to spend all the money they can. I don't think that the parks are doing that. I think 25% in our view is different than 25% of what the number is. So
I got a lot to say about this, because I think the parks, we're never running at more than 80% capacity anyway. There's capacity, and then there's what Disney will shut the gates off, and those numbers are not the same, because there's a certain point where Disney says, yeah, sure, fire marshal will let us bring in more people here, but it's not a good experience, therefore we will. So that's why a lot of times, if you've noticed, on New Year's Eve, they'll close the park, they won't let any more guests in. Then basically, an hour or so before midnight, they'll sort of open the floodgates again, because the idea is, okay, at that point, you're not there to go on rides, you're there to go see the fireworks, so they can jam you in. But they don't, they try and keep the day capacity in a certain range. And I don't want to give that number, but there was a number that we used to use, and it's probably a little bit higher now with the Fantasyland expansion. But the other thing to keep in mind too is not only, one, the queues are not being used, they're not packed. So they're basically running at 50% capacity, if that, maybe 30. So they're going to be longer. Also, these newer attractions were designed for Fast Pass, so you needed less queue space. So a lot of them don't have queue space. So just because the line looks long, you got to really look at the time and then realize what capacity they can have on the vehicle. If something like Small World, where they seem to be only loading 2 parties per boat, you're running at 20% of its normal capacity. Mm-hmm. So, and then, the last point on this I had was, you also don't have shows, you don't have fireworks, you don't have things that kind of kept people out of line for an hour. If you go do Finding Nemo, you get there 20 minutes before, you go in, it's a 30-minute show, give or take, then you go out and you get your stuff. You're taking 2,000 people off the streets every time that show runs. And with really just the Frozen sing-along as being the only show, of any size, the park will feel more crowded than it really is. So I think you just need to be, it's simple to just say, wow, the lines look long, or even just the walkways look long, but that might not give an accurate picture in terms of pure numbers. It doesn't mean, they're too crowded. It doesn't that they're not too crowded. It just means that the numbers we're used to in our heads after going to parks for years and years and years don't apply anymore.
Well, I also think that, as far as people go, I think that people are weary of numbers now anyway. So they're hypersensitive to the optics that they see. So they see these long lines and they see these things going on. They're like, that's too many people. That can't be more than 25. But like you're saying, like we don't know the number, so it's hard to, really gauge what's going on around us. Here, Doobie, I did this for you.
Yeah, I mean, Benji, think back to, our times at Disneyland before Fast Pass.
How old do you think I am?
I know how old you are, and you were there before Fast Pass, where the lines would be, like Splash Mountain would be a really long line. But at that point, we also all had in our head of, oh no, it's a 2-hour wait. We're not going to wait 2 hours because we know that there's another attraction that had a 15-minute wait, where with Fast Pass, everybody's kind of become that, okay, 20 minutes is the good number, 45 is too much. And people just are adjusting. Like Rebecca said, the social distancing aspect also comes into play a lot.
Yeah, that's the hard part is, just things like how they use their queues, how they use their pre-show rooms. It affects things. And, unless you're really thinking deep about it, it's, I wouldn't just go, hey, look, the line goes all the way here, because it means nothing in a non-fast pass social distance queue world. Because some of those queues, Disney has it. Sometimes they're more than 6 feet just because of sight lines. Like, because you can't have someone not being able to see where the next line is, and some of those turns are pretty tight. So, it's not a pure 6 foot thing. Like at Universal, it's pure 6 feet, and you end up in a lot of places where you don't know if the party in front of you has moved because you can't see them.
Yeah, and plus there are rows that don't have any social distancing markers because they can only do 6 feet in one row, and the next row there's no space for them when it's comparative. So there'll be 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet, nothing, 6 feet, 6 feet for the next row. So that again bumps off the numbers.
I did think it was funny that people questioned our reporting on this and asked for our source, and our source was Bob Chapek.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but he's the source. It's not Joe from accounting.
Joe from legal.
So Rebecca's a good point here. They lined up for Safari by the Dawa bar, and it was 20 minutes. So. And DB has another good point. You see parts of queues that, like sort of the dinosaur pre-fast pass queue that hasn't been used since the Cretaceous period. They're actually using because it's, no fast pass and distanced.
Benji, can you put back up Michaela's comment for Mike? I don't think he saw it earlier.
Pop goes the NBA.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
I wrote it and I didn't know where he was going with that.
NBA bubbles burst thanks to LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. How come they're called the Lakers? There's no lakes in LA.
Because they're from Salt Lake City originally. No, they're from Michigan.
Oh. So they won.
Have you not seen Echo Lake?
I saw Echo Lake with lots of homeless people around it last time I was there.
Hey Lakers, you just won the NBA Finals. What are you going to do next?
Go back to LA.
Go home. Not go to Disneyland yet. Oh.
So now that people get laid off without concern, but so I guess it just was so weird because it was a weird thing to have a Disney event of such high profile that had no guest access whatsoever.
Today I drove by Coronado Springs Hotel, which I've driven by since the bubble was formed.
Minneapolis.
That's what I meant, not Michigan. I meant Minneapolis. Minneapolis.
I heard a rumor that they were from Minneapolis, but I guess someone just misread Minneapolis.
Yeah. I've driven by Coronado Springs every day since the NBA had started, and I would see multiple security guards on the side entrance and in the front entrance. And then today, because they're getting ready to reopen on Friday, there was nothing there. And it was very strange to see what, since with each hotel, with each time a team was eliminated, some of the hotels would reopen. We've done walkthroughs of them, but seeing that one as the last hotel, the last standing hotel with the players in it, it's strange to see everything's back open now.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird to see Disney World get so much play between the MLS and NBA. Seems like, the Disney, everyone called it the Disney bubble, which was, probably a good marketing tool, except the hard part is every time they talked about it, just a reminder of COVID-19 and why you might not want to go to Disney World. But yeah, I guess it's just the next step into getting things back to normal. I mean, that's going to be a long process, but one more step.
Yep. With most of the hotels being open, well, a good portion of the hotels being open, that 25% is an interesting number to see with hotel occupancy, park occupancy, and Disney Springs occupancy, which is almost fully open now. But I guess that leads into our next topic, which is the Wolfgang Puck Express restaurant. May it rest in peace.
I'm not taking off my hat. I have hat hair.
Yeah, Wolfgang Puck Express, which has been a staple of the Disney Springs marketplace area, just kind of suddenly closed up a few nights ago. And as we learned from Spectrum News today or yesterday, it is closed permanently. So that's a little sad, because that was one of the few quick services that wasn't just burgers, hot dogs, turkey legs.
I always feel like that place kind of got overshadowed by Earl Sandwich.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Can I add something?
I don't know. Can you?
Speaking of closed permanently, I noticed that the signage is gone from the Void at Downtown Disney, which made me very sad because I attended the grand opening of the Void in both coasts. I was there with Jeremiah when Walt Disney World opened. So that was a bummer.
So which I guess you should name your thing the Void, because it'll enter the void abyss and never return.
Yeah, what's gonna fill the void?
Sprinkles will expand.
I was talking to Mike about how, like, I feel like the void's gonna be like kind of like Pogmania from the 80s. Like, we're all gonna be like, did that actually happen? Was there actually a VR experience at Downtown Disney? Like, and did it last like a year?
Yeah, the one here, like we weren't even as lucky as Disneyland, because we only had the Star Wars, and then we just got the Wreck-It Ralph, where you guys had gone through. You'd gotten a Marvel one there.
The Avengers one is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that was really, you're like Iron Man, like shooting the blasts out of your hands and stuff. That was cool. I don't think many people got to do it.
No. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the signage for the Void here, but I know if they removed that one, I'm guessing the one here can't be very long for the world. But again, it's also around the corner that nobody goes to, since Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique isn't open down there. It's kind of Once Upon a Toy, Earl of Sandwich, and everything on that backside nobody goes to unless they're exiting or going to a Uber or Lyft pickup.
Do you think the NBA experience will reopen?
Not anytime soon. And I don't want to say that because it employed a lot of cast members, but as Shelley can attest to before, and you also, it was a great attempt to get good PR with NBA, which worked out great because the bubble was formed around Walt Disney World and the teaming with ESPN, but the experience and the shop really was never that popular, I think, especially without Cirque du Soleil down there to draw people to that end.
And I think too, the fact that the NBA viewership is just down so much that it's not as culturally relevant as it was before, because it is in my opinion, at least the least of the popular major league sports out there, maybe soccer close by.
I kind of feel like it's, I mean, one, obviously it's hard to do in a COVID world, like share basketballs and stuff, and it's just not realistic. It also wasn't a big draw to begin with. And it's just a shame that, twice in that space they've tried to find a new type of experience, and it never really caught on. And, somewhat tied to major events that kind of prevented it, whether it's 9/11 or the NBA experience, just feels, or, COVID, it's just the timing is stunk. Something like that's going to take some time to build an audience. When I was there, people really wanted to do it. It was, I wouldn't say popular, but it was definitely not the ghost town I was led to believe it was going to be. But
it is funny, kind of ironic how over the last couple decades the emphasis was to move things in an interactive direction, and this current world situation has prevented that from being a thing for a while.
Yeah, it definitely has. I mean, all those kiosks, interactive touchscreens, kind of passe. But I had something I was going to ask. Oh, minivans. I mean, I know all my friends that were minivan drivers were let go, so I'm not saying they can't come back, but it's not going to be soon. Another thing that, they tried something new. It never seemed to pencil out for them. They always seem to kind of, the pricing, I guess that's why these app companies don't use employees, is because it doesn't make sense economically. But, I don't know. I mean, it seemed to get a cult following. It's not my favorite thing in the world. I thought it was kind of unnecessary, but, people really seem to like it who needed, who that fit their travel pattern.
Yeah, I think minivans were a great attempt, and I will say that it seemed to pick up as it progressed. I mean, when it first started, you didn't see a lot, but just prior to the closing, you would see minivans just about everywhere. And I talked to many people that were planning to use minivans to run to character meals or that type of thing, because it is more convenient, and yeah, it may cost a little bit more, but it's easier than trying to get an Uber to come to your hotel to pick you up, where it's Disney Run and Lyft Run. So you have the safety already built in.
Yeah, and I know that Mears has their taxi service, their kind of on-demand taxi service that might help fill that space in the Disney, area, whereas now there isn't the minivans for people.
Yeah, I think Mears was really trying to make a push into that. I mean, I think when the Mears family sold Mears a few years ago, it was basically to an app company. So because the whole transportation landscape has changed, with app-based driving becoming popular, it takes taxis out of the equation a little bit, and Disney still has the complimentary transportation, but a lot of people are used to a sort of a more immediate answer. But
yeah.
You feel bad for the cast. Not that they, obviously they didn't do anything wrong, and nor probably the company didn't do anything wrong either. It's just, just the nature. Okay. So anything else we want to talk about? Shelly, what are you up to? What's going on? Where are you on the go to?
I am really excited because later on this week, I'm going to be working with a couple of local radio stations here to shine a spotlight on some of the new, businesses that have popped up from cast members who've been furloughed, and trying to spread a little magic that way. And I'll have more stuff coming out about that in the next couple days.
That's great. It's nice to support their quote unquote side hustle. And until that becomes their main hustle, or until things get back to normal at the park. Doobie would like to share that he went on Runaway Railway. So I don't know why you're not on this live stream if you're back home.
I know. I was wondering that too. He could give the most up to date parks information because I was literally with him yesterday riding Runaway Railway.
Literally, I was totally
literally. Oh my god!
When is trivia coming back? Do we know that?
Saturday night. Saturday night. I don't know what the theme is, and I can almost guarantee you Doobie doesn't either.
I'm writing a quiz right now. Well, I was before I started doing this, so we have that to look forward to.
So Doobie says he's sleepy, but I can think of another dwarf that might be more appropriate. Can you?
Happy. Poor Doobie.
Doc.
He is happy. He rode the Skyliner, right?
Yes, I actually had, a bucket list item right there. I rode the Skyliner with Doobie.
Did you do that on purpose?
What?
Bucket list?
No, I didn't. That's
pretty good.
Okay.
Hey, Jam, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that the dining location Anti-Gravities is a pun?
Yes. But if I had always grown up with
Hey!
Back in blue.
If I had always grown up with
Oh, my bad. Out of practice.
Back in blue.
All right, sorry about that. I forgot how this works. First of all, I can only take so much getting ragged on in front of my face before I have to pop on and tell you guys to stop.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, it's all Benji.
Thank you, Mike, for showing me some respect. I know how to spell Minneapolis, and I know that's where the Lakers came from. I take that back. I don't know how to spell Minneapolis, but I do know that's where the Lakers came from.
What do you think of Runaway Railway?
I loved Runaway Railway. That'll be an interesting discussion at some point with my entire family. Maybe DTL on Saturday. But me personally, I was a big fan of it. I felt like it could have used a more involved pre-show than just explaining. But the ride itself was pretty spectacular. I was very impressed with it, more so than I expected to be, because I'm not a huge screen fan. But great attraction. Definitely the best new attraction I've been on this year. Definitely.
Even better than King Kong, Skull Island?
Yes, which I was a huge fan of. Oh man, I might have a new favorite Central Florida theme resort, I might say, because we had Disney World forever, and then, as you know, Benji, Ice quickly topped that. But now we had a great time at Universal Studios Orlando Resort. They were nice enough to let me buy an annual pass, so I'm really happy about that. And I loved it. We spent 2 full days there and had the time of our life. Great place to visit. You don't have to make a reservation to go. You can just kind of show up, assuming you get there early enough when the gates close. And good time. And they give you hand sanitizer before you get on every single attraction. So look at them. They're pretty dry and icky.
Did you guys do the walk through Halloween stuff they got going on?
We are not Halloweenies. I'm
okay.
Sorry. We are not. I did have one huge disappointment. The biggest reason we wanted to go to Universal this trip was to do Seuss Trolley Train, and we got to do that. But the second biggest reason was to do the Bourne Stuntacular, and it was closed. It was just flat out closed the day we went to
Seuss Trolley.
High in the Sky, Seuss Trolley.
Yeah.
As I learned last night, the Dr. Seuss High in the Sky Trolley Train ride.
Right.
Which was originally going to be. It was originally going to be called Sylvester McMonkey McBean's Incredible Driving Machine.
That makes a lot more sense.
It does, but
I'm not kidding. I'm a huge fan of that ride. I love going on that ride. Did Jurassic Park Riverboat Adventure excursion ride through the jungle thing, and that was really, really good. Even though most of the animatronics are broken, it's still a great attraction. Spider-Man, still overrated. Transformers, still baffling how they could make Spider-Man 10 years later and still make it that much worse. King Kong, way better than I expected. Really good time. Simpsons the Ride, crazy fun. Men in Black, I don't get it. Okay. And I went to Disney World.
Yeah, have you not been to Universal?
I've done everything I said there before, but It's been a long. I have not been to Universal since we left living there, so it's been a long time. It was nice. It was really nice to get back. Oh, Shrek 4D. Tony, if you're out there, Tony has advice. Don't ever do Shrek. He is so right. And if you do, don't lean forward because that chair in front of you will just pop you in the head really hard. Very good, Benji. Shrek 4D is.
But didn't you do E.T.? Oh, friend.
I love E.T.
Does anybody like E.T. for reasons?
I love E.T.
For reasons other than the fact you have E.T. nostalgia?
Yes, it's a fun ride.
Do you mean nostalgia for the ride or for the movie?
For the movie, and for the character, for Spielberg, for Jungle Hats, for whatever you want to say.
I like the first half of that ride. I don't like when we get to the goofy ET planet with all the little baby ETs.
Did I miss
the green planet?
Did I fall asleep in the movie? Was that in the movie somewhere that I missed?
No.
Welcome home.
We should definitely do dig a little deeper for ET adventure sometime.
That is a good idea. Chris is asking down here, not that I'm in control of the comments, what about Fast and the Furious? I am so disappointed Fast and the Furious was closed because I heard Transformers was bad and Shrek is bad, and this is a whole new level of bad. But unfortunately, they have it closed during this period we are currently living in.
Michaela knows what's up. Michaela knows what's up.
Does anyone here who understands ET, who knows ET, are those literally mannequins?
Yes.
It's bad.
They are minimatronics. Hey, stop! They're flying!
Except no lip movement there. And I seem to remember doing this attraction when I was 10 years old or so. And on the way in, they're like, what's your name? And then at the end, he'd go, Dobie. When did they stop this?
COVID.
About 7 months ago.
Really? That's just a COVID change? They've actually been...
They can't hand you the card. And then you can't,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like just another thing to hand.
No, they still do the name and everything.
Okay. They never did my name, though. He never said Doobie. I was very disappointed.
But if you ask, he can say Wakabayashi.
Care to elaborate on that?
So when I worked at the ET attraction, we learned that the longest name that ET could say was Wakabayashi at the time, because they had a database of, I want to say it was 16,000 names of popular names around the world, and Wakabayashi was one of them. So,
can I say that the Transformers ride is terrible, but the meet and greet's pretty cool?
Yes,
it's better in California where they actually do talk, not just press the button and you hear Megatron say, "Be gone, human."
By the way, little known fact: if not for the donkey attraction, the donkey meet and greet, there never would have been.
The donkey attraction? Wait, can we dig a little deeper about that one?
What?
I'm sad I did not get to meet Donkey because that was cool. Meeting Donkey with Tony was a lot of fun, and I could have taken the time to do it myself. Mike, by the way, guess what we did?
Rise of the Resistance.
No. We never even stepped foot in Toy Story Land or Galaxy's Edge. We were dead by yesterday. I was so needing a break. Not one, not two. We met 3 real dinosaurs.
Nice.
I have a Jurassic Park question since we're on Universal. Did everyone see the Animaniacs clip?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
That, I don't know why you're on this show. You should go watch that. That is.
Did you see it, Mike?
Best.
I did. I watched it after Benji told me to watch it.
You tell me about it. Is it pretty good?
It is pretty funny.
Thank you, Mike.
That's one of 2 funny Jeff Goldblum imitations I saw this week. The second was Jim Carrey on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, cool. What happened to Jeremiah? I was just about to compliment Jeremiah. Well, since he's gone, I will compliment you, Mike. This was going to be a Gene compliment, but he's back.
I was told if not, I had to go watch it, so I was trying to bring it up. So go ahead, Doobie. I'm sorry.
I have a compliment for both Mike C. and Jeremiah, and occasionally Tony. You missed it. I was on the other end of one of these walk and talks this week. It is not as easy as it looks. You guys have my endless admiration. I will not make it any easier on you in the future, but I will admire you more while I do it.
Thank you.
Well, we're good. It's good to have you back, Doobie.
Thank you,
I'll let
thank
you
you.
know that we hired another person while you were gone. So
LP or TFC?
LP.
Okay, I don't care. Does that mean I can take more time off?
No.
Wait, are you serious? Did we really?
Yeah.
Who?
We're gonna make a big announcement. We have a new person coming to LP.
Okay.
Can you make the big announcement? Because I don't know it either.
I can. So that's Disney Parks talk.
Wait, don't hang up yet. I don't want to. I just came in to say hi. I don't want to be here for the rest of it. So bye, everybody.
Bye.
The rest of it. The rest of it is saying goodbye. So
Disney Trivia Live returns on Saturday night. I thought about doing it, but I'm really tired. See everybody Saturday.
And we'll be back with Marvel Time on Wednesday, Star Wars Headlines on Thursday. Jeremiah, you're going to be at Epcot
Tomorrow.
Experimental Prototype Community of tomorrow. And Jelly, we love you. Did you get any wine yet?
I haven't gotten my wine yet.
No, it should be there soon.
We really do love you, Shelley.
I love you guys too. I'm really glad to get to join y'all.
Did you see Doobie while he was there?
I didn't get to see him.
Oh.
I'm very bummed.
So I guess he doesn't love you that much.
Mm-mm.
Oh well.
That was not nice.
And good night,
That was
everybody.
not nice that you didn't take out time to see Shelly. Okay, everybody. Good night.